Back to the present, the fact that our beauty goddess isn't a virgin anymore puts him into a berserk state. Probably because it reminded him of his unfortunate luck with ladies back in his last life. He swears to make her clean again while licking the dead body of his son's mother, whom he had molested till she died. He then goes full monster mode and starts chasing Duanya, who is running away with Golden in a bid to distract the pig from hurting her man even more, and buying him some time to return back to his body. Our unconscious boy better hurry up and get his body up and running again. Okay, let's go check on the last member of our protagonist's team, Xiao Feng. He has just finished draining the men who betrayed them of every last drop of energy they have left. He drains them dry until they all die. Now that is taken care of, he can face the remaining devourers with his full might. Just when he is about to get started, our beauty goddess and the pet cat burst through the walls, being chased down by a berserk devourer with an extremely large head and disgustingly long tongue. He uses his now very large tongue to attack, but Duanya dodges it by a hair. It is then that she sees the true form of our boy's pet Goldie, as it transforms into its beast form and carries her out of the way. No wonder her man is persistent in keeping it as a pet. She sees now that Goldie is a valuable asset to them in battle. Xiao Feng, thinking on his feet, tries to plunder the hospital devourer tribe lord's strength. But he's not able to, as the power gap between him and the monster is just way too much. So much that it hurts him when he tries to plunder. Duanya tells him to give up and escape with her for the time being, and he joins them in running away from, and I can't say this enough, a very disgusting tongue. The devourer lord simply refuses to let them get away and is hot on their heels. Meanwhile, our boy's body, laying there half naked, is still unconscious. In his head, the shaking has finally calmed down, and things are stable now that his real body isn't directly receiving damage from the monster anymore. Xiao has released him from the cocoon, exhausted from what she just experienced. Our boy then turns to leave to go deal with the situation outside, but warns her to behave herself until he gets back. As for what just happened between them, he promises to come back so that they both can have a long, serious discussion about it. She tells him that she would even go as far as helping him in the outside world, just as long as it would help him come back sooner, because he needs to take responsibility for what he just did to her. Whatever it was, goodness knows what went on in that cocoon. Back at the base, the battle is still fiercely going on between the devourers and the opposition. Captain Bai's brother leads a charge and orders his men to coordinate attacks with the tanks, and attack with everything they've got left. Another of the ability users uses her intense speed to strike through enemies, and Captain Bai herself also uses her drones to attack from a safe distance. It does great damage to the enemy, especially the big flower mutated ones. Yun Yun is also pulling her own weight as well, now using a pole which is a much stronger weapon than the tree and does a lot more damage. Captain Bai is proud of her but leaves herself unguarded. This leads to her not noticing the incoming tank that was thrown away from the battlefield, and is now heading towards her and makes direct impact. Yun Yun sees this and is horrified at the sight of Bei Chang's bleeding body, buried between debris. The devourers have started advancing a little and even go as far as overturning some tanks, one of which unfortunately lands on Captain Bai. The barrier has gotten breached and the men have started to consider retreating as a plausible option at this stage. This really infuriates our Yun Yun. She had worked so hard on that wall too. She really doesn't want her man to come back and see their base all torn up. This breaks the last fuse in her head. The devourers, who are now gaining morale, are about to charge in and have fun in the base, but meet the feet of a very angry Yun Yun, who smashes them splat with a stump on her feet, and nothing is left of the first set of devourers but a bloodstain. This vexes the devourer lord who had led the charge. He quickly jumps on walls and makes his way up until he is on the same level with our Yun Yun. He swears to get one in on her from getting in his way multiple times. She sees him on time and tries to grab him, but she misses. Or rather, he successfully evades her grasp. He then uses the opening he just created and lands a solid hit on her face that sends her falling on her back. Captain Bai, who has miraculously survived and recovered from the attack, screams in horror when she sees her friend take a serious hit and fall on her back. She crashes down into the debris behind her and takes critical damage. This gives the Devourer Lord false confidence as he thinks he just took down a giant, but our Yun Yun is far from done. She made a promise to her man, and she's gonna make damn sure that she keeps that promise. She rises, and now she's twice as big as she was before. These annoying insects are seriously starting to annoy her. She has to eliminate all of them, and soon too. Yun Yun is now more than thrice her former size, and she looks very pissed. The Devourer Lord begins to panic at the scene. Betty didn't think she could get any bigger. Well, think again, because she just did. She makes a fist with her hands, and this terrifies the hell out of the Devourer Lord. She then gears up to attack and sends a huge punch towards the Devourer Lord. Before it even makes an impact, just the air pressure it creates is enough to pin the Devourer Lord to the ground and bury him in the rubble. He is shocked and screams in rage trying to get free. But this is nothing compared to when the punch actually connects. It slams him down right through the building he was previously standing on, bringing him face to face with Yun Yun. That is definitely going to hurt him way more than it hurt Yun Yun. The impact of this attack is so strong that it reaches the general who is on the opposite side of the battlefield. His soldiers have to protect him from the blast, and everyone is shocked at how strong Yun Yun actually is. They begin to get relieved that the base might be saved by her after all. But General Gao knows that it can't be so simple. Right he is, because just then Yun Yun releases a loud and painful cry that would make your eardrums bleed. Everyone has to cover their ears to protect themselves from going permanently deaf. General Gao called it this time. Yun Yun has entered a berserk state, totally losing control of her abilities. Her powers are trying to completely take over her body, causing her to lash out. He quickly commands the ability team to search for our boy Su Chen, because he is the best chance they have of calming her down at this point. One of the ability users, a speed type, volunteers to go alone. She's the fastest among them. She speeds off to get our protagonist to calm his woman down a little. Our protagonist, on the other hand, has just woken up from his mental slumber. He comes out of that state to find that most of the devourers are either dead or injured. He notices something is different now though, and surely it is. You see, Xiao actually follows him out of his mental state this time around. He asks her why she came out with him, and she explains that it is probably due to the commotion that happened earlier in his mental space. She found out that she can leave his body now. She then tells him to follow the tracks that the monster left so they can find it and the rest of his team. He shuns her and tells her to go back, that he can handle the situation by himself. But she refuses, insisting on helping him and calls him ungrateful. He lets her know though that the best help she could possibly give him right now is to stay out of his way. Since words are obviously not doing it, she decides to use actions instead. She grabs our boy by the shoulder and wraps a hair strand around the edge of a distant building. If you guessed that she is planning to use her hair and swing them over like they're Spider-Man, then you'd be correct, because that's exactly what she does. Before our boy can object, they are already swinging in the air at full speed. No way is this actually happening. I guess Xiao is a little bit crazy. He hates to admit it, but it's actually working. Swinging instead of running greatly increases his speed and mobility. Just then, Xiao notices something happening in the far distance. Our boy is also quite shocked when he sees what is going on. It is Yun Yun, and she's way bigger than she normally is when she's gigantic. Xiao asks him what's going on with her, and he thinks something must have happened over there, causing her to lose control over her ability and go berserk. He predicts that she will self-destruct if someone doesn't stop her quickly. Xiao, being clingy all over our boy's shoulders anyhow, reveals that things aren't looking very good for them, as something bad is happening over there as well, right where they currently are. She says this while pointing out a battle that's currently going directly below them. It's Su Chen's team versus the Monster Hospital Devourer Tribe Lord. Xiaofeng throws all his plundered power at him and Goldie uses all its strength to attack. But the unfortunate truth is that a rookie ability user who hasn't even completely mastered his ability yet, and an insignificant cat who happened to mutate, are just no match for a tier 2 devourer monster like Feng Pangzi. With a wave of his tongue, he smashes them both into the wall with one attack. Then he goes over to face our beauty goddess Duan Ya, reminding her of his promise to make her clean again. He uses his tongue to attack her and slash open her clothes. Xiao points out that Feng Pangzi is a tier 2 devourer, and even our ruthless MC won't have a very quick victory in a battle with him. Meanwhile, Yun Yun is currently running out of time. He has to choose which one of his ladies to save, and quickly too. The monster then uses its tongue and is about to land a critical hit on Duan Ya, but Xiao's hair stops it just in time, except that wasn't Xiao's doing. It was our MC. Without her knowledge or permission, he borrowed her power and used it to save his woman just in time. There's no way he is letting another man touch his property. Not this time, bro. It's time to go full Spider-Man on this overgrown pig. Our ruthless MC doesn't believe in choice. He is planning to save both his women no matter what. Seer reminds him that she only exists in his consciousness, which means that he is the only one who can see her at the moment. Basically, he is on his own in this battle. But no worries, because as usual our boy is not even baffled the tiniest bit. Our beauty goddess Duan Ya is so relieved when she sees her man is okay and back in the game. She really shouldn't act so surprised, knowing the kind of guy he is. Our boy finds out that he can now make use of Xiao's powers at will. A sweet bonus. He decides to test his new ability on the Hospital Devourer Tribe's Lord Monster in front of them. He sends the whip-like abilities that resemble strands of Xiao's hair but are not quite. And they go ahead and tie up the monster. Feng Pangzi is still quite confident that our boy and his team can do nothing to hurt him at this point. But it is only then that he realizes what our boy Su Chen is actually doing. See, he is actually tying him up to a nearby concrete building, and before he can speak, the ropes tie him down to the building. He asks our boy what his plan is, and he explains it to him quite casually. Since a big pig monster over here can regenerate quite easily, he wants to test what will happen if he is cut into tiny pieces. He wonders if he can regenerate from that. I guess there's only one way to find out. With a flick of his wrist, the ropes tighten way too hard and way too fast, and the result is the slicing up of the monster into a million pieces. It's raining devourer parts everywhere. Duanya realizes that her man didn't only come back to the fight, but he came back even way stronger than before. She will have to hurry up and get stronger too if she wants to keep up with him. Our boy doesn't waste much time on the scene. He needs to hurry up and go save his other woman quickly. He tells his beauty goddess to take care of his pet and his guy Xiaofeng, while he goes to deal with the other problem happening in the base. Xiaofeng and Goldie report that they are fine though, so that's a relief. Meanwhile, the speedster from the ability users team that had come to call Su Chen finally arrives at the scene. She immediately begins to look for their savior but can't seem to find him anywhere. She is completely exhausted from all that running, but knows that if she wastes any more time it might be too late. Just then she notices that something is coming straight for her, and really fast too. It's the savior she had come looking for, Su Chen, and he has a very serious look on his face. He doesn't even slow down for her a bit and zooms past her so fast that it knocks her down to her feet. The girl can't believe her eyes. She is shocked to see that our boy is almost as fast as she is now. She tries to call out to him but he is already far gone. Actually, he does notice her and even hears when she calls, but he is way too focused on his current objective to care for whatever her business is with him. So naturally, he ignores her. Xiao comes out again and tries to discourage him from going. She tells him that they may not come out of this one alive, but our boy wants to hear nothing of it. He is going to save his people, and that's the end of it. Besides, he worked really hard to build that base and would be damned to see it all go down like that. Xiao just hopes that his woman can hold out long enough for them to get there. Our boy then decides that it is time to try a move he has been working on. He uses his space ability and opens 2 gates, allowing him to jump from one to another almost instantly. He calls this move Space Jump, and it is quite nifty. The speedster girl who had been watching them from behind is shocked to see him instantly disappear into thin air. She almost can't believe what she is seeing. No one man should have that much power. Before, the distance our boy could space jump was only about 3 meters, and his use was limited to about 3 times a day before it felt like his body would rip apart. But now he has upgraded to level 2. He just jumped about 8 meters, so there's definitely an improvement. Time to test how many times he can do it in a row. He activates another of his abilities, Steel Body, and Xiao is starting to get seriously worried about what he is planning to do. It is time to test the real limits of his level 2 abilities. He keeps jumping continuously, and the speedster girl is just there staring, totally in awe. Back at the base, Yun Yun has completely lost it and is just attacking randomly. There are still some devourers left, and they are seriously considering retreat at this point. One particular devourer is thinking about climbing her. He wants to see what it feels like up there. Can you really blame him though? They are monsters through and through, completely void of any human reasoning whatsoever. Some try to talk a little sense into him, but fail miserably. In fact, there are others that start to see his point of view. And soon many of them all feel like climbing her. One starts climbing, and the rest tell him to wait for them. Before long, many devourers start climbing the legs of our Yun Yun, who is totally lost in her ability. The devourers are almost at the promised land. They're so close to under her gigantic skirt they can almost taste it. Such perverts. Then again, they are animalistic beasts, so you really shouldn't expect much. They forget about the remaining men though, who are still down on the ground, and they immediately open fire. But they are stopped in their tracks by Yun Yun, who is attacking anything and anyone at random indiscriminately. General Gao is starting to panic, but Captain Bai notices something approaching. She notices someone heading towards Yun Yun at a very high speed. It's Su Chen. Our boy makes a grand entrance with so much main character energy. Both the general and captain are so relieved when our boy lands. Now they have a much greater chance of stopping this chaos. Zhao warns our MC that his woman is still growing, and if she continues, she just might explode, literally. They need to find a way to wake her up from her berserk state before that happens. Yun Yun quickly turns her head and spots our boy, so she shifts her attention to him. She tries to smack him, but he forges by jumping up and landing on her hand instead. It is quite obvious that she has no idea what she is doing at the moment. He runs up her arms to her shoulders, then slides down her chest to her bust area, while swiftly evading attacks from her. He reckons that he better take care of the devourers that are on her first before anything else, so he jumps from her bust straight down to her legs. On his way down, Zhao notices and points out how high quality and durable her stockings must be, to be able to withstand her size with only a few tears here and there. Our boy explains that it must be due to her ability, but now is not really the time for that kind of discussion. Now is it? One lucky devourer has finally made it to the entrance of her skirt, and just as he is about to claim his prize by stepping into the promised land, He is stopped by a black rope that is around his neck. It's from our boy, and he is not planning to let him go any further. He throws the devourer away, and as he is flying he screams that our boy isn't a man of culture. It's kind of funny he would say that because he has no idea that our boy has done way more indecent things numerous times. Anyway, that is one devourer taken care of. He goes ahead to take out more and more devourers as they try to advance. He zips around with high speed, throwing down devourers as he goes. Some devourers back on the ground gather around our favorite masochistic psychopath, G. They are furious as they remember that they were once human until she turned them into monsters. They come for revenge and strip her of her cloak. She carries her witch staff that she has been carrying along and stabs it in one of the devourer's eyes. The rest are even more irritated now and prepare to attack, cornering her to a cliff. She tells them to be grateful as she takes a step back and falls off the cliff, screaming that she just gave them a gift on her way down. The gift is that staff. As it starts rapidly growing roots in the head of the devourer it was stabbed in, soon it mutates into another devourer plant monster hybrid, much bigger than the last three. The monster even attacks other devourers, and once it sets its eyes on Yun Yun, it targets her for an attack. The first devourer has finally made it up her leg, and is proved to be the first person in her skirt. But just then a terrible shake sends many devourers flying. She is raising up her leg to attack the flower devourer monster and squash it to death. Those that manage to react fast and look for a way to cling to her leg are taken care of by our protagonist, Su Chen. He uses his ropes to tie them and throw them off the leg, causing them to fall to their deaths. Captain Bai and General Gao are relieved that all the devourers are gone. But that doesn't solve their major problems. Now Yun Yun has grown so big that our MC's entire body can fit in half of her face. She is way bigger than she ever was when he arrived. Our boy has got some very gigantic problems on his hands now. Yun intends to stop her from exploding, harming people and destroying things. She raises her hands above Su Chen as she is about to strike him. Everyone calls out his name to alert him of the danger. They are worried for Su Chen so he doesn't get hurt. Yun Yun pounds her hands on Su Chen, destroying a building too. Yun Yun raises her hands, and Su Chen is nowhere to be found. The others wonder where he has gone. Su Chen is told that going again, Yun Yun heads on, is a terrible idea. They had hidden inside the breasts of Yun Yun. They started to notice something strange. Yun Yun is glowing, and her body seems to be cracking. It appears that her body cannot hold on any longer. Su Chen uses the jump space ability to have a better look at what is about to unfold. Yun Yun's body glows and cracks as she screams at the top of her voice and gets flashbacks. She is naked and cold. She is submerged in a clear liquid. She had lost count of how many times she had woken up in despair, the number of times she had lain on an operating table, and she had been pierced with needles multiple times. She feels like she is a lab rat in this apocalyptic world. She asks for help from God if he really does exist. She is willing to give everything in exchange for a way out. She hears her name and transitions back to the moment she had thought it was God that had called her back, as she had just asked for help. Su Chen doesn't need useless people by his side, so he raises his hands and gives a powerful strike to Yun Yun in an attempt to get her to wake up. Yun Yun remembers everything now. She remembers her encounter with Su Chen. He had asked her to stock up on food at home. She remembers how Su Chen is always there for her whenever she is in despair. She had survived the apocalypse because of him. She had felt a very strong connection between them. Like a ray of light piercing through the darkness in her heart, she can give anything to him. It appears that Yun Yun is about to self-destruct. She glows even brighter and brighter, and everyone thinks she is about to self-destruct. It was so bright that no one could look in her direction. She had disappeared together with Su Chen. They wondered if it was all over. They are all out for Yun Yun and Su Chen, but it appears they have vanished and are nowhere to be found. Su Chen and Yun Yun have disappeared, and the General and Captain Bai wonder where they are. Captain Bai is sad as she thinks that something bad might have happened to Su Chen and Yun Yun. She is kneeling on the ground with her hands on the ground, looking so sad and devastated. She still has a lot to say to Su Chen and Yun Yun. Yun Yun had just saved her. The General yells in a loud voice asking her to look up. She gasps for air as she raises her head. They are both surprised by what they see. It is Su Chen carrying Yun Yun and descending from the sky. Yun Yun looks badly injured. The General is happy to see Yun Yun. It is great that they are both safe, he says. The captain notices that Yun Yun is badly injured and yells out an instruction for someone to find a doctor. As he finishes his statement, he hears a voice above asking him to wait a second. It is Duanya riding on Goldie. The captain is impressed by the fierce-looking big cat. Su Chen calls Duanya's attention. Duanya thinks her condition is critical. She thinks Yun Yun might lose her life at any moment if left unattended. Duanya suggests they go back to the base first. The bathtub is running as they are instructed to carry Yun Yun into the bathtub. The water appears to be glowing, which makes Su Chen ask Duanya if she has added anything to the water. Duanya has mixed in the recovery serum from the evolution base. as regular medical treatment will not work for the kind of wounds Yunyun has sustained. Suchen acknowledges. Duanya asks Suchen to check if Yunyun's wounds are healing, but Suchen does not feel any difference. Duanya thinks that it is impossible, as she has refined the recovery serum so many times. Suchen thinks that the wounds could require the ability to heal. This makes sense to Duanya, but as she is about to finish her statement, she is shocked as Yunyun is now responsive. Suchen holds her up close. He thinks the medication has worked. Duanya turns around and leaves them both alone. She says she will leave the rest of the wounds to Suchen to handle. Suchen is uncertain if that is a good idea. Back in the building, Bai Chang and Duanya have something to talk about which requires privacy. They have asked Xiaofeng to leave and give them room, which he does, although he wonders why. Duanya walks into the room behind Xiaofeng and slams the door, and Xiaofeng is left with a confused look on his face. While on the other side of the door, Duanya is disturbed. Even though she will not admit it, she thinks that Su Chen will never stop on his path to becoming even stronger than he currently is. Baiteng walks in on Duanya and asks what she is doing. Duanya has always suspected that Baikong has feelings for Su Chen, so she wants to confirm her suspicion. Duanya asks Baiteng the question directly, but right before she can finish, Baiteng catches on and completes the question. Baikang's face is filled with surprise mixed with shock. The scene cuts to where Yunyun is lying down. Duanya attributes Yunyun's healing to Su Chen. She thinks her wounds are mostly healed because of him. Duanya dismisses Su Chen, saying that she will take it from there. Duanya tells Su Chen that Xiaofeng has brought back a crystal core for him. Su Chen is surprised and asks again, which makes Duanya reassure him and tell him that it is in the reception room outside. She urges him to go check it out. Su Chen tells Duanya that he will be leaving Yunyun under her care as he goes out to check the crystal core. Su Chen is stunned by what he sees. He thinks it's a black stone. He wonders if they have mistaken the black stone for a crystal core. He believes he cannot blame them as he makes a fist. He has only heard about this thing in his past life, he thinks to himself, and lands a powerful blow on the black stone. In the apocalypse, all sorts of bizarre materials start appearing. The black stone does not seem to be affected by the powerful blow he has just launched. He thinks the black stone is incredibly tough. And it might also be a rare material born from the apocalypse, which is actually connected to one person. Black Blade King, Wang Song. He happens to be a legendary figure in his past life. He carves through the apocalypse with a single black blade. Rumors have spread saying that the Black Blade King has forged his blade from black stone. Su Chen stands and stares at the black stone in awe as he thinks to himself. He thinks he is lucky this time, as he wants to take possession of Wang Song's fortune. He then decides to store it away for the meantime. He is to make his own black blade as soon as he finds a blacksmith. The scene cuts back to Duanya and Baikang. Baikang wonders why Duanya is just bringing up her suspicion now. Duanya is worried that after Su Chen absorbs the crystal core, a powerful curse will take effect. She is also worried that if nothing is done about it, something bad might happen to Su Chen, which she does not specify. Baikang is now highly inquisitive, asking her to be a lot more specific. Duanya does not know for sure. She does know that it is something bad, but one thing she knows is that they should not let that happen. Duanya is worried about Yunyun. She cannot leave her behind, as she still requires attention amidst her healing process. Baikang tells Duanya to stay back and assures her that she can handle the curse. Duanya tries to talk Baitang out of it. She tells her that this might not be what she thinks. Duanya persuades Baitang to listen to her, but she refuses. Baikang is confident. She says it is fine no matter what it takes or what she has to do. She urges Duanya to leave it to her. She has blurted that out too quickly. She wonders why she has to wear a different outfit and say some weird lines. She is about to step out as she sees Su Chen, who appears to be fine, which makes her wonder if Duanya is tricking her. Bai Chang does not want to take chances, as Su Chen's safety affects the entire base. She just has to confirm the curse situation first. She stares at Su Chen, who is standing a couple of steps away from her and looking outside. Bai Kang wonders if he has finished absorbing the crystal core. She has rehearsed her lines and has made up her mind to say the words for the sake of saving Su Chen from the curse. She picks up a tray with a bottle of wine on it and 2 empty glasses. Bai Tang is nervous as she is dumbfounded. Su Chen turns around and sees her carrying a tray with a bottle of wine and empty glasses coming towards him. Bai Kang calls him master, which shocks Su Chen. Duanya is still taking care of Yunyun. She wipes down her face with a white towel. She thinks Bai Chang should be fine. The curse is the most reasonable explanation she can think of. Duanya has prepared all this for her. She also thinks that she should be thinking about how long she can endure this. She has made up her mind to help her once Yunyun stabilizes. At the base perimeter, they have just gotten rid of the Devourer tribe, but now they have to clean up the corpses approaching them. They ask him to stop whining. If they leave the corpses there, things might spiral out of control and a plague might break out. They could potentially lose a lot of people. Their attention is now directed towards the devourer corpses, as they have all disappeared. They are all surprised, as this does not seem normal. They all wonder what must have happened. They wonder if the bodies have grown legs and hands and walked away. They all have a bad feeling about this. Meanwhile, in her consciousness space, she is getting a feeling. She looks intrigued and anxious about something. It's a moment she has been waiting for a while now. She cannot exactly pinpoint the exact location, so she tries to reach out to Su Chen for help. Su Chen pours himself a glass of wine as he hears all about the curse that Bai Kang was talking about earlier. Bai Kang submits to Su Chen. She tells him that she is all his for whatever he might want to do to her later. This makes Su Chen so surprised that he spits out his drink from his mouth. Bai Chang immediately asks if everything is okay with Su Chen, but he rubs it off, saying that it is just the alcohol. Bai Kang says that there could be something wrong with the drink and decides to give it a try. As she raises the cup to take a sip, she hears Su Chen asking her to wait. He warns her about the outrageous alcoholic content of the drink. It's 64%. Bai Kang takes it anyway. She looks intoxicated. She feels a sudden burst of energy after taking the drink. She acknowledges how strong the drink is and admits that it is her first time taking an alcoholic drink. She also tells Su Chen that she feels so energized as she is waving her hands around. Su Chen is intrigued that she could get intoxicated that fast from alcohol. He asks her if she is drunk already. Bai Kang rubs off the question and asks him how she can possibly be drunk. She raises her leg and places it in between Su Chen's legs as she looks him in the eyes and tells him that she still has to help him lift the curse. She says this while coming up close to him in a seductive manner. Su Chen has no reason to reject a meal served on a platter, but he makes it clear that he doesn't like the sudden shift in power dynamics. He tells her that she needs to properly understand the kind of relationship they have. This raises confusion in Bai Chang's mind. She appears not to understand what he means by relationship. Su Chen reminds her that they started off with her calling him master. He says this with so much aura. He also tells her that he is now sober, and Bai Chang drops to the floor with her head raised up as she calls him master. She also admits that she was wrong. Su Chen acknowledges that. As he is about to finish his statement, he gets a strange feeling. He had been drawn into the consciousness space. He laments as he was just getting to the fun part with Bai Kang. He asks her why she pulled him in, but she is really excited. She jumps on Su Chen and tells him that it has finally appeared. Su Chen is not sure of what she is talking about and he asks. At this time, she is already on top of him. She asks Su Chen to help her, but Su Chen still doesn't have a clue about what she is talking about. So he asks her to explain properly. She goes on to say that she had found a body that perfectly matches her. She had initially asked Su Chen to help her find a body, as she could not sense the body's exact location. Su Chen still wants to know why she pulled him in. She needs to borrow his power so she can sense its location. Su Chen wants to know what she means by using him as a signal booster. She does not explain, but instead, she rolls up a ball and launches it like a slingshot. She intends to project their consciousness to the place, which she does. They get to a corpse tide. They see many man-like figures all facing the silhouette of a female with long hair hovering in front of them. She notices that the silhouette is summoning the corpse tide. She remembers that it's only a corpse that can do that. Su Chen asks if she has set her eyes on the corpse queen's body. He also has concerns about their safety, as he thinks that they might be too close for comfort. She asks Su Chen to relax, as they have nothing to worry about. As long as they are in the spirit form, they will be fine if they don't cause any significant disturbance. Then something strange happens, which startles them both. Meanwhile, in the physical world, Bai Chang thinks that the curse has activated and is starting to take effect. She is standing and looking at Su Chen's body. She plans on taking away the curse. She calls him and asks for his permission to lift his curse. This she says as she goes up close to Su Chen and whispers in his ears. It cuts to a dark figure with glowing eyes asking who is there, and for whatever it is to show itself. She thinks that she and Su Chen have been spotted. Su Chen wonders what the woman is doing. He sees that she is coming their way, so he suggests they run away. She thinks it's already too late to run away. The woman launches at them at an incredible speed, her eyes and mouth glowing as she gets closer and closer.